All right, 12 tragically stupid deaths that really happened. Let's get right into this motherfucker.
Lester Harvey looked up just in time to see a bear falling out of the sky.
How the fuck is that possible?
The bear landed on him. He was crushed to death. Now, this sounds like something out of a bizarre urban legend, but it's 100% real. In 2024, in Lunenburg County, Virginia, a group of hunters had chased a bear up a tree. One of them fired a shot, and the bear fell right onto Lester Harvey.
Damn.
He was rushed to the hospital, but didn't make it. Like hundreds of hunters before him, Harvey believed he knew where the real danger was, in the thick brush, from a misfired rifle, or even a swarm of angry insects. But he never expected danger to fall out of the sky.
That's crazy.
Especially in the form of a bear, dropping from a tree right onto his head. And believe it or not, that's not even the weirdest fatal freak accident in this video.
Wait, I'm not gonna lie though, I would be so mad, my nigga. Like, I would just be in the afterlife looking in, like, I would be in disgust. I'd be like, yo, god damn, like, I really died because a bear is on top of a fucking tree and decides to jump down? On me, out of all people, on me, my nigga. Like, you could have never, you didn't jump down when nobody was walking past the fucking tree, my nigga. You couldn't just do it on your own time. You had to do it while I'm walking by, my nigga. The fuck?
Video. So, fair warning. Viewer discretion is
I'll be
advised.
pissed.
June 2016, Virginia Beach, USA. Lottie Michelle Belk was celebrating her birthday and wedding anniversary at the beach. Sun, sand, and cocktails. It was supposed to be the perfect ending to a perfect day, until around 5 p.m., when the wind suddenly picked up. One strong gust ripped the large beach umbrella right out of the sand. The umbrella flew straight at her. One of the metal spokes struck her in the chest with brutal force. Lottie stumbled back and collapsed.
What the fuck?
A lifeguard rushed in to give
How?
first aid, but by the time the paramedics arrived, her heart had already stopped. The official cause of death, a penetrating chest injury from the umbrella impact.
Bro,
So,
what?
yeah, if it's crazy windy
Come on, my
outside,
nigga.
maybe skip open spaces. What really gets me is how sudden it was, how danger can come out of nowhere, and how even a place like the beach, where kids laugh and the air smells of salt and sunscreen, can suddenly turn into the scene of a real tragedy.
That's fucking insane.
March 2019, Gaucher,
What do you,
Mississippi.
I ain't gonna lie. No.
USA.
If I'm her family, I'm suing the beach. I don't give a fuck, nigga. If I'm her family, nigga, I'm suing that beach, my nigga. It's y'all fault. Fuck that. I'm suing the beach. I'm suing the news reporter, the weatherman, all that. No funny shit. Like the weatherman, I'm suing the weatherman. I'm suing the beach. I'm suing all that shit, bro. Real shit. If I'm her family, yes, I am.
Margaret Maurer was walking back to her car along the highway. It was just another ordinary moment, but if she'd glanced over her shoulder at the right time, she might have seen it coming. Just seconds before she reached her vehicle, two wheels suddenly detached from an 18-wheeler passing nearby. Each weighed about 227 kilograms.
All right, my nigga. See, there's got to be some Final Destination bullshit. Nah, no funny shit. Like they making this shit seem like Final Destination is real, bro. How the fuck? How, bro? You know, like, bro, my nigga, there's a 1 out of a million, like, chances for that to happen to somebody.
They rolled nearly
This ain't no movie?
260 meters down the road, gaining speed. One of them slammed into Margaret with such force, she died instantly.
What?
And the tragic accident wasn't her fault. She wasn't trespassing on train tracks, didn't try to cross a busy highway, and wasn't even drunk. She was simply walking to her car. Gaucher police said the truck driver pulled over as soon as he realized something was wrong, but it was already too late.
Wow.
Authorities later said it was most likely a mechanical failure, not a driver error. Still, take this as a warning. Don't skip those car checks. And always stay away.
Wow.
Watch your surroundings. Listen to the sounds around you, because danger doesn't always make a sound.
Bro, what the fuck? Bro, okay, bro. All right, my nigga. I guess Final Destination is real, bro. Hey, yo, my peoples. Final Destination is real, my nigga. You can't even walk to your car without thinking. Now, when I get a car, nigga, I'm looking at my left and my right to see if if I see if a wheel is gonna fucking fly across my face. Dead ass, bro.
Sometimes it's already coming.
This shit crazy.
Even in your own driveway. In the evening of June 18th, 2016, friends of American actor Anton Yelchin were waiting for him at a rehearsal, but he never showed up. Yelchin was best known for his roles in Hearts in Atlantis, Terminator Salvation, and the Star Trek trilogy. He was never late and he always replied to messages right away. Worried, his friends and colleagues headed to his home in Studio City, Los Angeles. Around 1:10 a.m., they found a horrifying scene. Anton was pinned between his car and a brick gate pillar. The vehicle had been parked on a sloped driveway, but it rolled backward, crushing him.
Damn.
The coroner confirmed the cause of death as traumatic asphyxia, and the police ruled it an accident. There were no signs of a break-in and no strangers in the house. Anton's smartphone was still with him, but he never had the chance to call for help. The tragedy quickly sparked major public concern. Yelchin's car, a 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee, had a known issue with its electronic gear shifter. Because of a design flaw, drivers could mistakenly...
Oh, so when he was probably... Oh, so when he... Well, I'm assuming, like... When he was probably, like, walking or some shit, the shit went backwards, like, at the right time. And the shit killed him. That's super unlucky.
think the car was in park when it was actually still in neutral. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration was already investigating more than 850,000 vehicles with the same system after numerous reports of cars rolling away on their own. By then, the defect had already led to over 120 crashes and 30 injuries. As we can see, a system designed to make driving easier had already caused harm before, but this time, it took a life. This heartbreaking accident is a stark reminder of how dangerous a car can be when something isn't working right. Don't put off repairs. If your vehicle has a flaw, as all it takes is a few seconds, and you're completely alone, face to face with tons of metal that suddenly decides your fate. September 23rd, 2016.
That's fucked, bro.
Haymarket, Virginia.
That is super unlucky.
20-year-old Sydney Zelaya Gonzalez just wanted to help. She was assisting a 41-year-old woman, whose name hasn't been released, with moving a full-size mattress. It was too big to fit inside the car, neither in the trunk nor in the back seat. So the only option left was to strap it to the roof of a Chevrolet Express. The problem was, they didn't have any rope. Everything happened in a rush. Rushed thinking, a tendency to cut corners, the urge to help. All of it came together in a split-second decision that felt right at the time. She climbed onto the mattress, thinking her body weight would be enough to hold it down. She didn't realize that air density, the car's speed, and wind resistance could be just as brutal as the crushing weight of concrete. The car took off, but then a sudden gust of wind caught the mattress. Sydney lost her balance.
Wait, what? Did she try to drop? Wait, hold on. Let me go back, because I didn't understand.
In the trunk nor in the back seat. So the only option left was to strap it to the roof of a Chevrolet Express. The problem was, they didn't have any rope. Everything happened in a rush. Rushed thinking, a tendency to cut corners, the urge to help. All of it came together in a split-second decision that felt right at the time. She climbed onto the mattress, thinking her body weight would be enough to hold it down. She didn't realize—
Wow, no, see, that's fucked. Wow. So what happens?
That air density, the car's speed, and wind resistance could be just as brutal as the crushing weight of concrete. The car took off, but then a sudden gust of wind caught the mattress. Sydney lost her balance in an instant. She fell hard onto the pavement and suffered a traumatic brain injury. By the time police arrived, she was already unresponsive. The crash was fatal. In just seconds, an ordinary road turned into the site of a tragedy, and a simple act of kindness became Sydney's last.
That's crazy.
The driver was in complete shock, but fully cooperated with the investigation. Police later confirmed that neither alcohol nor speeding played a role in the accident. It was a senseless, tragic mistake. Sydney was trying to help. In the next story, though,
that's crazy. Yo, imagine helping, bro. Like, imagine helping somebody, my nigga, and you think of I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, if the shit wasn't able to fit, it would have been over, bro. I'd have never helped. Like, it would have been over. It would have been GG's, bro. I'd have been like, yo, we could call somebody to ask if they got rope, or we could go get some rope. My nigga, we could go to Home Depot real quick, get some rope. Not everything is, like, I don't understand shit is rushed, but come on, my nigga. Like, I'm not about this, and not saying she did some dumb shit. Like, and at the time, it was probably smart for her to think about it like that. You feel what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna lie. It also depends, like, yo, how fast was the car going? Like, was you speeding that motherfucker? The fuck? So wait, did the 41-year-old kill her? Or some shit like, is that almost like murder? Cause that shit sound crazy, bro. That shit sound insane to me. I ain't gonna lie.
To do with helping anyone. It was all about chasing internet clout. February 24th,
oh wow,
2017, Singapore. Jonathan Chow was standing near the railing of a shopping mall with a friend. He handed her his phone and asked her to film a Snapchat video. The boy was convinced the video would go viral and hit thousands of views. And he was right, but not for the reason he hoped for. At just 17, Jonathan decided to try a risky stunt. He planned to jump over the railing and land on a ledge just below.
Why would he do that?
They were high up. And
Why would he do that? See, but then again, when you're 17, you do a lot of dumb shit. You feel me? Like, a lot of shit is just dumb.
Make a cool, dramatic shot for social media. What he didn't know was that the ledge was made of drywall. It looked solid and sturdy, like a part of the actual structure. In the CCTV footage, you can see the moment he gives way under his weight. Jonathan fell 4 floors straight down. He died on the spot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
For a few seconds, his friends didn't understand what had happened. She was still holding the phone.
Why, yo, shorty, why you ain't like tell him, yo, my nigga, this might not be the best idea. Like, not everything needs to go viral, bro. Like, you could think of something else to go viral, my nigga. Real shit. You want, like, nobody ain't stop him. Like, nobody ain't, like, think about it for a second. And everybody was like, all right, yeah, cool, do it.
Recording, right until she looked over the railing. And this kind of story isn't rare. Tragic deaths in the name of content happen way too often. When you're standing on the edge, forget about the social media filter and just think about whether you'll have time to tap undo if something goes terribly wrong.
Nah, real shit.
Let me be clear about one thing. No amount of likes is worth your life.
That's a fact.
What feels bold or exciting in the moment can lead to something irreversible. August 2017, Nara, Japan. A 40-year-old warehouse worker at Tanarumono Logistics was standing next to a forklift, staring up at the warehouse ceiling 10 meters above the ground. One of the ceiling lights needed replacing. The problem was the forklift could only raise him about 2.5 meters, nowhere near enough. So he got creative. He had no ladder and no time to wait for one. Or maybe he just didn't have the patience to explain to his boss why the light bulb still hadn't been replaced. He stacked 35 wooden pallets, each about 15 centimeters tall, one on top of the other.
Okay.
Then placed the entire wobbly tower on the forklift platform. Then he asked a coworker to raise him up. Nothing could go wrong. But as the forklift lifted the unstable stack, the pallets began to shift. The whole thing collapsed. The worker fell from that height and hit his head hard on the floor.
Damn.
His coworkers called for an ambulance.
Damn, GG's.
But the injuries were fatal. He didn't make it. The poor man only wanted to turn on the light, but what he left behind was darkness in every possible sense.
That's fucked up. See, you know what I'm saying? Yo, the narrator's making this shit sound like 100 Ways to Die. Whoever narrated this is, my nigga, this nigga's not showing no remorse. Like, yo, bro. Come on, bro. At the end, all he saw was darkness. Come on, gay. You don't have to say that. He got a family.
This tragic case ended up featured on the Darwin Awards website. A site
He got a
that
family.
somewhat ironically, highlights people who meet their end through extremely poor decision-making.
Wait, no. Did they get sued? Bro, I'm
But
suing.
it's not just about mockery.
As his
It's
family
a
member,
brutal
bro.
reminder. Use the right tools. Follow safety rules, especially when working at heights. And even if you always play it safe, someone else's bad idea can still take you down with them.
That's a fact.
October 28th, 2023, Sheffield, England. Hockey player Adam Johnson was on the ice. At the Utilita Arena, eyes locked on the puck, tracking his opponent's every move. The game against the Sheffield Steelers was intense. All 8,000 seats were packed with fans hungry for action. The Nottingham Panthers were trying to regain control of the puck when Johnson accidentally collided with a teammate. And that's when everything went horribly wrong. As Johnson began to fall,
Is this the nigga that slit his throat?
Sheffield Steelers defensiveman Matt Petgrave lifted his leg, and the blade of his skate sliced across Adam's neck. It happened in a split second.
Oh my
but
God.
That one motion turned out to be fatal. The hit struck right on the carotid artery, that exact spot where a tie
He
rests
dies,
against
right?
the neck. Blood began pooling on the ice almost instantly.
Oh my God.
At first, Johnson didn't seem to grasp how serious the injury was. He tried to skate toward the bench, but collapsed just seconds later. Panic swept.
This is why I can't be ice skate. I ain't gonna lie. Niggas who play hockey and niggas who ice skate are fucking troopers. Y'all niggas is some real niggas, bro. I ain't gonna lie. See, I will try the shit, but I'm not competing and shit like that. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it gotta be like, I gotta be like, you know what I'm saying? I gotta have the best trainer, all that. Cause I can't just, yo, my nigga, niggas be slicing their fingers. You feel me? Like it's another nigga who also got sliced playing hockey, or yeah, that was that was playing professional hockey, and some nigga sliced his throat by accident because they collided towards each other, but he survived. I didn't know this happened. I didn't know a nigga died from this shit. Like I didn't know another nigga that happened to somebody else. Damn, that's unfortunate. Wow.
Swept through the arena. The crowd fell silent. Children turned away, covering their faces. And even the commentators were speechless. His teammates rushed to him to shield the crowd from the horror. They joined hands and formed a circle around Adam.
Oh my God.
In those tense moments, they did everything they could to save him.
Oh my God.
No one in the arena expected to witness a tragic end instead
I can't even imagine that shit.
Especially one caused by something as ordinary as a skate. He was rushed to Sheffield's Northern General Hospital. Doctors fought to save him, but the injury was too severe. Late that night, Adam Johnson was pronounced dead.
Damn.
His family was informed the following morning.
Oh my God,
South Yorkshire police launched an investigation. 17 days after the incident, Matt Petgrave was arrested on suspicion of manslaughter, but was later released on bail.
What the fuck are they talking How they gonna arrest the nigga? Like, it's like it's a combat sport. You can fight in hockey. What the fuck? How you gonna arrest a nigga for manslaughter, bro? Like the nigga did it on purpose. What the fuck? Am I getting are they trolling? Rest in peace to the person who passed away. Well, come on, my nigga. You can't arrest me for this shit. It's not my fault. How the fuck would I know? The fuck? This is a 1 out of a million thing, bro. Literally.
And the tragic truth is,
like,
life can be taken not only in the middle of a brutal game, but even in the middle of something as intimate as a moment of passion. August 2016, Mexico City,
Everything
Mexico.
happens in 2016, I see.
17-year-old Julio Macias Gonzalez suddenly began convulsing during a quiet family dinner.
What the fuck?
Earlier that evening, just before the incident, his 24-year-old girlfriend had given him a hickey on the neck. Later at home, Julio collapsed and lost consciousness. His family
Whoa. What happened?
immediately called for an ambulance. But by the time paramedics arrived,
What the
it
fuck?
was too late.
What the
Doctors
fuck?
couldn't save him. The medical report revealed that the hickey had disrupted blood flow and caused a deadly clot.
Oh, alright, my nigga. At this point, bro, this shit gotta be a joke. It gotta be a joke, my nigga. A hickey? Yo, you know what's so crazy? I just gave a girl a hickey like 3 weeks ago, my nigga. I gave a girl a hickey 3 weeks ago, bro. What the fuck? You telling me if I give a girl a hickey, she could die?
That clot traveled to his brain and triggered a stroke.
What?
Sometimes the softest touch of our loved ones can trigger the most terrifying chain of events.
This is crazy,
Julio's
bro.
family blamed his girlfriend for what happened, but this wasn't an isolated case either. Back in 2011, a 44-year-old woman in New Zealand lost movement in her arm because of a hickey.
What?
The kiss had damaged an artery, leading to a clot. Just a seemingly innocent romantic gesture,
Okay.
and part of her body ended up paralyzed. But not all the tragedies in this
This
video
shit is
were
insane.
accidents. Some are just the result of really bad decisions. December 2015, Germany. The sound of an explosion shattered the quiet of Christmas morning in the small German town of Shoppingen. A 29-year-old man and 2 of his buddies jumped into a car and sped off. Their plan was simple, quick and easy cash. So they tried to rob a condom vending machine. Yeah, you heard that right. Not a bank, not a jewelry store, but a metal box full of rubbers and just a few euros inside. They rigged the machine with explosives and backed off.
They
thinking
went too
they were
hard.
at a safe distance.
What the fuck?
They were wrong. The blast was so powerful, it blew the machine to pieces. One chunk of metal launched through the air and slammed straight into one of the men's heads. His friends
GG's.
panicked.
Oh, GG's. Imagine robbing, imagine trying to do something, like do a heist or some shit, or trying to rob something, and you die.
They rushed him to the hospital, unconscious.
What do you tell them? What do you tell them? What happened? Oh, well, we try to rob a fucking vending machine. We try to steal that motherfucker. But, we fucked up. We blew it up. The metal just came up in the air and just hit him in the head. You go to jail for that, right?
Cover their tracks. They claimed
You go to jail for that. Yo, you go to jail for that.
fallen down the stairs.
Nigga say he
But
fell down the stairs. Yeah, like these niggas not doctors. Nigga said, yo, nah, the nigga fell down the stairs, bro. I don't know. Me don't know. He fell down the stairs. Niggas said that like these niggas not gonna do x-rays and shit.
Doctors weren't buying it. The injuries didn't match the tale. They fought to save his life, but the trauma was just too severe. He didn't make it. Let this be a reminder. Theft and destruction don't just break the law.
That's crazy.
They can cost you everything. Especially if you're using explosives on a metal box.
Where the fuck they found explosives
November
at?
16th, 2015. Pula, Croatia. Bojan Bešić was serving an 8-month sentence in Pula prison for threatening his ex-girlfriend and illegally using her personal information. Before that, he'd already spent 5 years in Croatian prisons for other offenses.
Oh, wow.
He was a tough inmate, not aggressive, but impulsive. That day, Bešić was sent to solitary confinement after yet another incident, but the guards didn't search him properly. He still had a lighter. At around 3:34
Oh,
p.m.,
nigga burnt
he
himself.
set fire to the cell wall.
Why'd he do
which were
that?
Covered in foam and synthetic leather.
Why'd
It
he do that? No, he's a dickhead. No, I ain't gonna lie, he's a dummy.
His attempt to scare the prison staff.
You want to scare them, but instead you took your life? Are you high off fucking meth? Are you high off methamphetamine? Gotta be.
Bešić expected the guards to react quickly. He stared directly into the surveillance camera, waiting. But
Something
no one
wrong
was
with him.
watching the monitors. The fire spread quickly. Thick smoke filled the cell, and that's what eventually killed him. He suffocated. By 4:05 p.m., the fire was out. But by then, it was too late to save Bešić. The security footage kept rolling for a few more minutes, capturing the smoke-filled cell. And when it finally cleared, there was nothing left but blurry shadows and complete silence. His family later sued the state, accusing the prison of negligence and
What? They sued the prison because he started a fire. Okay.
demanding compensation. Takeaway: in a crisis, don't count on others to act quickly. It's better not to push things to the edge in the first place. And finally, I've saved the most unexpected and downright absurd death for last.
Talk to me.
February 2021. Lotner, Telangana, India. A local farmer was holding his rooster, getting it ready for an illegal cockfight. He was tying a rope around the bird's leg, strapping on a small but deadly sharp knife.
Why'd he do that?
In these fights, it's not just about money.
What the fuck? This is crazy. Niggas do that? Niggas is sacrificing the roosters. Yo, bro, we can eat that shit. The fuck is y'all doing? Niggas can eat that motherfucker. Fuck.
Your rooster's reputation is on the line too. The fiercer your bird, the more respect you earn. Suddenly, the rooster panicked. Sensing danger, it started flapping and struggling hard.
You ain't put a big ass knife on him, bro. Y'all ain't see it. Alright, y'all ain't put this big ass knife on the rooster, my nigga. That's cat. This big ass, yo, this is a big ass knife.
The man tightened his grip, but the bird kept thrashing wildly. In the chaos, the knife tied to its leg stabbed the
Nah, how you get killed by a rooster? Yo, that is fucking insane. Nah. How you get killed by a rooster, my nigga? What the fuck?
right in the groin. He lost a lot of blood and died on the way to the hospital.
Yo.
Police later launched a search for 15 others involved in organizing the fight. They were charged with involuntary manslaughter, illegal gambling, and violating India's ban on
Yeah,
cockfighting,
GG's.
a law that's been in place since 1960.
GG's.
But in rural parts of Telangana, these brutal contests are still surprisingly common, especially during the Sankranti festival,
This
a
shit
Hindu
crazy.
harvest celebration. And this wasn't a one-off. Just a year earlier, in the neighboring state of Andhra Pradesh, another man was fatally stabbed in the neck by his own rooster during a similar event. The rooster had no idea it had been turned into a weapon, but the man did. And still, he was the one who strapped the blade to its leg.
Yo,
And
this shit
yet,
crazy.
In this story, justice found its way. The predator became the prey. Here's the takeaway. Taking part in cruel, illegal games isn't just unethical. It can backfire in the worst possible way. What's the strangest death you've ever heard of?
This, I'm not gonna lie, no. The strangest death that I've ever heard of, my nigga, was the hickey shit. That's crazy. Yo. What? A hickey? That's insane, bro. I mean, yo, bro, my nigga, this shit is getting out of hand, bro.
Drop it in the comments.
It's getting out of hand.
And don't forget to subscribe.
It's getting out of
There are
hand.
plenty more real-life cautionary tales coming your way.
It's getting out of hand, bro. A hickey? Nigga said a hickey. Nigga said a hickey, bro. What? Nigga said a hickey. Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. Nah, rest in peace to everybody that passed away. They made this shit, yo. Whoever, yo, if this is real, then this is some 1,000 ways to die shit, bro. First off, somebody done got hit with a 4-wheeler. Rest in peace. She was walking to a car, got hit with two fucking big ass wheels, bro. Killed her. Crazy, my nigga. Crazy. Shit is insane, bro. This shit is crazy, bro.